So as we enter the second half of the year, I thought it would be a good time for me to step back, sit down, look at the running goals I set myself this year and see if we're on track or not. So welcome back to another video. My name's Andy, the Forest Team Runner, and every single year at the beginning of the year I set myself a new selection of running goals that I like to achieve during that upcoming year. And then what happens is I forget about that video, I get to the end of the year, I make a new one and then quickly watch back through the old one to see what I've achieved, what I haven't achieved, and then make a new set of goals. Well, I thought it was about time this morning when I was out on my run thinking to myself, do you know what, sit down, step back, you've had a good first half of the year, let's actually go over those goals and see how we're doing. How is progress? Are we on track, and are you ticking all the boxes that you wanted to tick this year? So that's what this video is going to be about, a bit more of a personal journey, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. And it might give you a chance to sit back, reflect on the goals you set yourself at the beginning of the year and see how you guys are doing as well. So without further ado, if you're excited for the video, give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content. Let's dive in and see how we're doing. So the first thing I want to check in on is the thing I said at the end of that video, with my goals video, which was the structure of my year, because that then dictated how my goals were set out and what I wanted to achieve. And in the past, what I've done is I've said I want to do X, Y, and Z in the year, and I've gone and done something completely different. And that's fine because I can often get caught in a tangent and go off in a different direction. But this year, I pretty much stayed to what I said I was going to do, which was on January the 15th, kickstart a marathon training block for Newport Marathon. And then I was going to have a couple of months on the trails. And then after that, I was going to kick into some summer speed work. And halfway through summer, I was then going to start training for an autumn marathon. That is all pretty much spot on. I started on January the 15th. I finished on Newport. I had 6 weeks on the trails. Basically, well, 5. I had a week off and then I had a gentle week and then I had 4 weeks where I was doing a bit of base building, and I started my summer speed block at the very last week of May. So cut that a little bit short, but overall I did what I wanted to there. Nearly wrapping up a summer speed block now, and then on the 30th, 29th of July, whenever it is, after my goal 10k race, I'm going to be kickstarting into marathon training mode again. So everything up to that point is still going to plan. I haven't deviated from that, and I'm really happy in a way that I've executed it, because it's exactly what I wanted to do back then. It's exactly what I'm doing now. So that means once I've done this speed block, I'll be going into marathon training again for an October marathon, which I'll talk about in another video. So in terms of that, the structure, the layout, and what I wanted to do, I've done it so far. So let's go through the list of goals now as to what I set, and let's tick and cross them, or tell you if I'm halfway there or not, close or not, and we'll go through it that way. The first thing I set myself was 2,700 miles. I basically take a small step up every year, and I started like 8 years ago and I ran like 1,500 miles, and since then I've basically run sort of like 1,700, 1,900, 2,000, 2,100, and they've just taken small steps up. And I think last year it was around 2,500, 2,600-ish. So this year I set myself 2,700. We're checking my Strava on July the 10th. I've managed to run 1,400 miles. So obviously half of 2,700 is 1,350, and I'm 50 miles over, but I'm also 10 days into the second half of the month. So I would say I am literally bang on for that. But if anything happens, I've been very lucky, touch wood, with injury this first half of the year. I haven't really got injured. I've missed a couple of days and moved a few things around, but nothing's kept me out for more than a day or two. That's it. So I'm hoping that I can hold up strong for the second half of the year. And if I can, with another marathon training block, we might just hit that mileage. And if we do, I'll be absolutely delighted, because then again, lifetime miles count, and just taking those little steps up every year make a massive difference. And then I set myself a goal about PBing in the 10k and the half marathon, and I've done one of those two so far. The 10k, got a 10k PB this year back in February, 33:00. So very happy with that. And the reason I just targeted the 10k and the half is because I'd been having rotten luck with the marathon. I just hadn't been doing very well. And the 5ks I kind of run, but I'm not a massive fan of them, and I don't think I ran any 5ks last year. So I thought I'm not going to put that in there. I am scheduled to run a 5k this year in about 8 days time. So we'll see how that goes. I might get a PB, who knows, but I've ticked one of those boxes. So it just now means I've got to go out there for a half marathon and get a PB. I've got a couple of halves in mind that I'm going to run by the end of the year, and I'm hoping I can get out there. Current PB, 75 minutes and 14 seconds. That's quite soft for me. I feel like I can get under 75. I just need to have some good conditions on a good day on a good course. So we'll see how we go with that one, but the 10k one is done. And then the third goal I set myself was to run a marathon well. Again, again, I'd had rotten luck with marathons in the past, whether it's fueling, injuries, whatever it might be. I just hadn't run a marathon very well at all. And so this year the goal was just to run a marathon well. I didn't pressure myself to get a PB. I just wanted to run it strong from start to finish as best I can. And I have absolutely achieved that goal at Newport, running a PB in 2 hours, 40 minutes and 44 seconds or something like that. So very happy with the second goal. That's half of that achieved. And the third goal is a big tick. The next two goals, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to achieve these. Number 4 was to run 2 trail races. So last year I think I ran 1 and this year I wanted to double it to 2. I actually sadly have no plans to run any trail races at the moment. My plan originally was to run a couple in that off season between my marathon training and speed block. I just didn't feel quite ready to do it when I had a couple in mind at the time, and I just didn't feel quite ready to, once I come off the back of marathon training, I was slowly building back up. I was feeling really good. I was feeling uninjured, which was amazing, and I just wanted to gently get myself back into speed, and I was excited to get into speed work, and that kind of swayed my mind a little bit to go, all right, don't push it, don't do anything stupid with some big long trail races, just get yourself back into a position where you can start training again regularly. You know that's what's going to help you improve more. So in terms of the trail races, I'm not sure I'm going to even achieve 1 this year, which is a bit gutting, so that one might not happen. And number 5 was to complete a half of a summer series of road races. So around here we've got a couple of series that I wanted to do, which was the Hereford 5K series and the Rose Inn races, which you've probably seen one of the videos on the channel. There's like 3 or 4 races in each of those series, and I basically wanted to try and do 2. And at the moment I've done 1 Rose Inn. I didn't do any Hereford 5Ks and they're all gone. And I've basically got a chance to finish the Rose Inn one. That's on a bit of a knife edge. Not sure I'm going to do it or not. If I am, it'll be the August one, and then I will have completed it. But I'll be honest with you, I haven't put that one in the calendar, and I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do that or not. So again, not sure if either of those 2 are going to be ticked. And I think that's about it for the specific goals I set myself. One thing I want to just throw in there extra to all of that is strength and conditioning. That's something that I picked up at the end of last year after my London Marathon disaster, getting injured. I really just hit the strength and conditioning hard, and I've been doing it a lot, twice a week. In fact, basically since then, I've had the odd week where I've just done it once, but most of the time it's twice a week, and I feel really, really good for it. I feel like it's contributed to an improvement in my running form, my turnover, my posture, and injury prevention. I feel like it's just done so much for my running, and I can't stress that enough. So that's something that secretly deep down I'm kind of, feeling like that's a bit of a win, and I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that I can continue that routine right through for as long as I can, but in particular just to get through this year. Obviously, with another marathon training block just on the horizon, that's going to mean a decrease in intensity but an increase in volume, which is what I prefer, if I'm honest with you. I prefer training that way to what I'm doing now, but I do love the shorter, faster workouts, and I do love 10K racing. So it swings and roundabouts, but for me, the strength and conditioning is something I just wanted to throw in there and say, in terms of goals, I didn't set it, but it's something deep down that I'm thinking, yeah, I'm making a note of this, and it's something that I want to set myself a goal around next year. And so overall, I'm really, really happy with how it's going. In terms of performance goals, I'm pretty much ticking those. It's the ones that I kind of, the request goals, the ones that I want to do, the ones that are falling by the wayside. But I'm not too worried about that in terms of injury prevention and ticking performance boxes. That's kind of really what I'm after, and just enjoying myself. I'm having such a great year, and I'm absolutely loving it. And that's all I can ask for, is to continue that feeling, that good vibe feeling moving into the second half of the year, and just appreciating and enjoying. I'm just appreciating everything at the moment. So that's all I want to continue doing. And I hope this gives you guys a chance to sit back and go, all right, do you know what? I set myself goals at the beginning of the year, and I don't tune in with them at all until the end of the year. If this gives you an opportunity to sit down and just check over those, I'd love to hear how you guys are getting on with your goals. It'd be brilliant to hear if you're on track for those or not, or if you've diverted completely and are doing something else. It would be just great to hear. So there we go, guys. That's it from me today. Just last thing for me to say, last focus is going to be, as I said, 2,700 miles and the half marathon PB. Those are the 2 really on my list that I want to achieve. The half marathon one is really kind of getting to me. It's my favorite distance to run, if I'm completely honest. Like, I know 10K is my best distance, but half marathon is my favourite, and I just feel like my PB at the moment is so soft. I should be able to go out there and at least run a 74, but I've just got to get the right conditions, the right day, and a good pack behind me so it's not like a solo time trial. So there's a few half marathons on my radar that I'm looking at. It'd be great to go out there and run one and just smash it. If I can wrap the year up and just complete that one more goal, I'll be a very happy man. But anyway, as I said, I'd love to hear from you guys how you're getting on with your goals. Drop it in the comments below. Let me know how you're getting on. A bit of personal reflection today. Always good to do every now and again. See how you're doing throughout the year and where you're heading. Are you heading in the right direction? Would love to hear that. Drop it in the comments and we can chat more there. That's it from me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do give it a like, share it with your friends, and of course, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content. I'll see you in the next one. Until then.